Hello folks, it's KC. I'm going to share with you a few smaller Keyboard Maestro macros, mainly to give you ideas on how to implement and incorporate them into the way you work, or just show you how I use Keyboard Maestro to assist me. The first is my change start time macro. I'll show you what it does and how I made it. Lastly, I'll show you how to incorporate it into your next steps. What this allows me to do is change my computer start time for the next day. So let me show you how that's done. If I know my day is going to start at 10 a.m. tomorrow, I will put 10 a.m. and it will go into its steps. Opens Energy Saver, changes it, and boom, I'm done. Let's see how this is done. Go into Keyboard Maestro. Okay, as you see, it starts with the prompt, which you saw earlier. It goes to Energy Saver, pauses, hits the schedule button, goes through a series of steps. It used my variable, hour, minute, and day, night, which I'll show you here. Hour, minute, day, night. Those are my variables. So let's go through system preferences to see exactly how we walk through this workflow. Gives me this prompt right here. So if I put 10 o'clock like we did, let's show you what happens. Here's the prompt. Energy Saver. Pause 2 seconds after it clicks Energy Saver to get its bearings. It presses this schedule button. Pauses for a second. Tabs twice. 1, 2. That's where it puts its 10 o'clock. Tabs again for the 00. And then it'll select the AM or PM right here. Then it will click OK or return right here and quit. And that's it. This is part of a bigger macro for me called Say Hello, which I'll probably go into a little later, which it will change the start time of the next day depending on the day of the week. So I work from home on Mondays and Thursdays. So on Sunday, it will set the time of my computer to wake up at 6:20 because I start work at 6:30. And on Wednesday, it will set the time for the same. The other days, it will come on at 4:54 p.m. But I will show you that at another time. The next macro I'd like to share is a very unique one involving an iTunes radio channel that I listen to called Soulection. I actually have this cutting on at 8:05 every Monday evening. All it's doing is going into iTunes and selecting a station instead of me doing it myself. Let me show you.
Selection time.
I just hit OK. Go into iTunes, select radio, type in Soulection for me. Click and click and minimize. I'm good at that point.
Future beats.
So let me stop it.
Eclectic soul.
Okay, let's go into Keyboard Maestro and iTunes to see what actually took place. Ava will say
Selection time
at 8:05 p.m. Then I will get a prompt to ask me, am I ready for it? Because if I'm in the middle of something, I don't want this coming up. I don't need to listen to it, whatever. So once it asks me and I say yes, it'll pull up iTunes. It'll check for this in the display, this little choose which speakers to use, AirPlay icon to make sure it's ready. It'll pause until that time. Then it'll make sure I'm on music. It'll click the radio button. It'll click here because this is the image found, and it will type Soulection. Soulection. It will search for Soulection, and it will do another pause until conditions are met, which it searches for this icon, this right here. And then it will click here, right? Once it clicks there, it will pause for a second, and its coordinates will click right here. And that's all it does. Then it minimizes. That's it.
And timeless sound.